What's up, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 72 of Gotta Watch 'Em All, the podcast bringing together trainers from every corner of Pokemon fandom before watching along with an episode of Pokemon the series, starting all the way back at episode 1. But today we're going to be watching episode 72, All Fired Up. Gotta Watch 'Em All is part of the Pokemon Professor Network. I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Adam.
I'm in here. I'm hanging out.
What's up, dude?
Not too much.
I'm excited to hear of your world's experience. I can't wait, dude. I'm so ready to hear it. We recorded Lured Up the other night, and I kind of heard about it from a Pokemon PvP perspective. But I'm looking forward to hearing about the goodness that you experienced in the DC Open. But we'll get there in just a second. Little housekeeping really quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. And I want to give a huge shout to our show supporter tier patrons: Brittany, Jay, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon, L, The Noise, Harry, Pokenabbot, Purple Pancakes, Dem, Gears Be Bangin', Lady Goobly Meat, Super Nerd Fox, Go Ranger Matt, Reversal, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Jolt Switch, Alex, The Illustrious Overseer, and new this week, Jason. Thank you guys so incredibly much for your support. It means a lot. It really does. Yeah, it really does. Also a big shout to Jack and Jordan for joining at the Discord tier this week. Thank you guys. We'll see you at the.
Yeah, you guys just rock.
The Discord is always popping off. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy the Discord. It's like I'm in a billion servers, and it's always nice knowing that the home base server is always very, very active and filled with awesome people. It's really cool.
I just try to have one server, and that's too much for me.
Dude, I think I have like. I'm now up to like maybe 15 folders, and all the I mean, there's some folders that have like 24 servers in them. It's out of control. It's insane.
The only one I pay attention to is ours. So
huge shout to our executive producer Paul Bott and our Elite Four patron Jessica Pfeiffer. Thank you guys. And if Patreon isn't your thing, there's a few other ways you can support us. If you're listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on notifications. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, take a moment to leave us a review. 5 stars are the best stars. All right, on today's show, Pokemon Worlds, Washington, D.C., Adam went, so we'll hear his...
And it was fun. It was fun.
His feedback. Dude, I was living vicariously through your Instagram stories. It looked very, very fun, and it looked like there was so much to do. I was very I was very bored at home, wishing I was in D.C., I kind of learned about this late, but V cards were announced for the TCG. This is the next iteration, kind of, we went from GX cards, we had break cards, we got tag team cards, now we have V cards. Don't know much, but we'll talk about what we do know. There's been some new Sword and Shield abilities, items, and moves released. We have 3 weeks worth of bonuses in Pokemon Go. We have plenty of new product from Pokemon Center, and then finally, we'll watch along with Pokemon the Series, episode 72, All Fired Up. Adam, talk to me about Worlds, man. Let's just hear your summary. How was it? This was when was the last time you actually went to a Worlds?
It wasn't this year or last year, which was in... Where was it last year? Oh my gosh, brain fart.
16?
I went to Boston when it was in Boston. I think that was the last one I went to.
I think that was 16, right?
Yes.
I think it was 16.
Yeah.
So how did this experience for you compare to what what you have experienced in the past with Pokemon Worlds?
So this one differed where I was into Pokemon Go. So having that alongside, it just made the experience, if that makes sense. Because
was like everyone playing Pokemon Go?
Everyone was playing. Everyone. And like you'd walk outside and you'd hear people just be like, "Oh yeah, go yeah, the Relicanth tasks are all down in the south end." And so everybody's like communicating and everybody's on their phone playing Pokemon, or either if they're not playing Pokemon Go, they're watching the stream. And it's actually like inside too. So it's like
Like the vibe that I've always got, and maybe this is isolated, but even at my local card shop, the vibe I typically get is that the people that are in the TCG and in the VGC typically are not Pokemon Go players. So that's interesting to hear that everyone was kind of on it. Or was it just a matter of Pokemon Go trainers taking over the event? Maybe that was it.
Maybe it was it. But it was like in between rounds where, players would be sitting and there's nothing to do. We're waiting for the next round, and every round goes to time. So people on their phone, they're just catching. Like I watched it over and over again. I'm just walking past people, like checking out games, and then other people that are just sitting down. They're throwing curveballs. I'm watching them.
Nice. And how was DC? You did the tourist thing a little bit, right?
Yeah, we saw the Washington Monument, Abraham Lincoln Memorial. Then we saw the Air and Space Museum, which was a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah, I want to go to the Smithsonian down there. I know they have some awesome museums and a really cool natural history museum, and a lot of cool landmarks. So I gotta make it down there. I haven't been to DC in years, but that's awesome, man. That's good. So Pokemon.com put out a kind of like a recap website that talks about all of the winners in all the respective formats. So I'll just run through a couple of the names really quick and where they're from in the Masters divisions. We had Henry Brand of Australia win the TCG Masters running Mewtwo and Mew GX. Did you notice any one deck being dominant in the TCG, or was it kind of spread out?
I would say Reshiram Charizard GX tag team with greens. That was everywhere.
Really?
At least that I could see. And it's like every time I looked to my left and my right, it was Malamar or Zekrom. I mean, and that was in the DC Open. So like, I don't know what was being played day one of Pokemon Worlds.
Right. No, it's like it's funny. We'll get there, but the majority of the streams that I watched, or the stream that I did watch, I watched to completion, was the Pokemon Go PvP stream, which we'll talk about. But I haven't watched too many battles on TCG yet, so I have to go back. And if you go to the link in the description, you could watch the winning matches of all the finals of all these. In the VGC, we had Nato Mizubuchi of Japan. He was running Groudon Lunala. Also in Pokken Masters, Hiroki Yoshida of Japan. So Australia, Japan, bringing home championships in those divisions. And then they had the Pokemon Go Invitational. So now this was a little bit different. Main stage, Friday morning, one of the first things, it was not a like a season competition where you had to register and build points and do all that. This was kind of an exhibition where Pokemon Company invited 8 specific people, including Masuda and Morimoto from Game Freak, to play. A bunch of YouTubers, Ando, Unlisted Leaf was there, Strawberry17, Yamada, Pokemon Go YouTuber, and then from the States, we had PokeAK and Pogo King. And then they had someone named Karime, who was a winner of like a raffle drawing to be a part of it, which was really cool. Pogo King and PokeAK are, dominant forces in Pokemon Go PvP. So it was pretty much, the writing was on the wall that they were going to face each other in the finals, which they did. And they kind of went back and forth. They had some connection issues, but in the end, Pogo King took the victory. It was absolutely amazing. I remember at one point, there was about 14,000 people concurrently watching the Pokemon Go stream, which was streamed on the main Pokemon Twitch channel. And on the TCG channel, there was probably about 6,000 or 7,000 people watching that stream. So it all signs are pointing to Pokemon Go being further adopted by the Pokemon Company in these competitive settings. I'm very excited. And Adam, you were physically there. You were a spectator, right?
Well, if you think about it, it's what's bringing in the most money.
Like by a lot.
Yeah, and they don't have to do much. Like Pokemon themselves aren't doing much. They're just making those decisions. Yes, Niantic, you can put a Pikachu with this hat on.
But how was it? Right? How was watching the tournament from the crowd? Like, was it exciting? Because we've talked about this plenty on Lured Up.
It was so exciting. It was so exciting. The new animations, the new sounds, it kind of all makes sense as to why they changed it right before Worlds.
Interesting. I didn't even think of that.
And honestly, I think that it has something to do with that, because it made it exciting to watch.
Well, it's more of a visual
like, oh my
thing.
God, are they going to get are they going to hit all of the leaves? Are they going to get an excellent? Are they going to hit great? Like, are they going to be able to defend? And watching, Morimoto and just everybody go back and forth with switching techniques, throwing in like Lanoon with lightning and a grass attack. Like, what?
Yeah,
it was intense. And my son, who's 5, who knows about the game but doesn't really care too much about it, he was like eyes glued to the screen.
You posted a picture and he was like, it was like he was watching like astronauts or something. Like he was so like intensely like encapsulated. It was awesome. It was so cool.
No, and he immediately when it was done, he asked me, "Oh, can I? Do we have any Pokemon toys? Did you bring them so I can battle them?" And I was like, "No, I'm sorry."
Yeah, well, that's why there's a pop-up Pokemon Center.
Yeah. Yep.
How dangerous was that? Was that like insane?
It was more dangerous than I realized. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You can't bring your kid and it not hurt real bad.
Well, it wasn't that bad. He knew that, he only got one thing, and then after we went a second time, he got another one thing. Because he's dad getting another thing.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. And you competed in the DC Open. So how'd that go for you? What did you run, and kind of what did you see when you were facing other trainers?
So I played Naganadel Quagsire, which you just absorb energies with Naganadel, and you move them with Quagsire to the active. I was playing a combination of the Dragon Kyurem from Dragon's Majesty and Corsola, because Corsola does 20 damage to any Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field.
Nice.
Times the amount of water energies attached. So I could do some nasty plays, if you will. I faced 3 different fire decks. The only reason I lost to one of the Charizard Reshrams is because 2 turns in a row he was able to use greens, grab 2 custom catchers to take out my Quagsire, both of them, like one after the other.
Ouch.
So, yeah, and it's like, I'm a water Pokemon, like I can one-shot you, and I wasn't able to, because he got out both my Whoopers before I was able to evolve.
Ooh.
I was like, Whooper down, custom catcher. Whooper down, double custom catcher.
Not today. But overall, you did well, man. You placed in the points, right?
Yes, I won 5 matches. I lost 2, and I tied twice. I got 107th out of like 654 masters. I'm currently online trying to figure out why it shows that I don't have points. I've never done a DC Open, so I don't know.
You got to jump on Reddit to see if like other competitors are actually seeing it reflected on their
because at the moment it doesn't say I got any, and it's like I top 64, I top 128. And like I'm supposed to have points. Yeah, I'm supposed to have 40.
Maybe it just hasn't posted yet. I would look into it, but that's awesome, man. I'm glad you did well.
I've already sent an email.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yo, where are my points at? That's good though. But I'm glad you went, man. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you got to see the city and take your son. That's really cool, man. I'm really glad you went.
He was excited to fly and to ride the metro. He had a blast.
Nice. So did you see the V cards kind of get announced?
Yes.
So
yeah, it was right as the opening ceremony.
So they released it's like a 2-minute video. I'll link to it in the description. It's from Pokemon.com. And it's like this teaser that kind of, it's really epic music and epic graphics where it shows like GX card, then a tag team card, and then it busts out like this new V logo. And you see Zacian and Zamazenta, who, the legendaries from Sword and Shield. Obviously, they're going to be, the featured, legendaries for this new V card. And then they kind of show a silhouette of the V card, and the only thing you can really make out is 330 hit points. So these are going to be big dog cards, probably.
Yeah, and
similar to Tag Team, right? 3 prize cards.
I think they're going to introduce bigger cards.
You think maybe
they're going to,
like some kind of connection to Dynamaxing or something like that?
Probably, because like you see the Zamazenta and stuff, and like those look normal. They look normal from everything that I can read and see. They look just like normal GXs, but with the V, it looks much larger than a Zekrom.
So maybe it's a Dynamax thing.
In the video, it's a tiny little Zekrom with a big Dynamaxed card, if you will.
Right, looking up at the card.
Yes.
So.
And I would bet money on it being a bigger card. I just don't know how they're going to make it work. Maybe one card in your deck, you can have one V card in your deck.
Oh, wait, you mean a physically bigger card?
Physically bigger card.
What? That's weird. I mean, I guess if you only have one, it's not like you're hiding anything. I guess, but people would know right away, like, because obviously it's not going to be forced that you run one. But
Right.
People would know right away, like, all right, you're running one V card, but like, oh, you imagine like a big old sleeve they have to make for it.
Yeah.
It's like the size of the jumbo cards.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it before where they take like two pieces of a card, and you had to have them both in your hand, like it was like a Ho-Oh Lugia, and you had to play them together as one card. And so like they've done stuff like that before, so I don't know, they could utilize something like that where but it only showed one card, so I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
No, I'm excited. I mean, it's cool that they announced it at Worlds. It's cool that this is just showing further iterations of the TCG, and, you know, how you have all this stuff happening with Sword and Shield, all this stuff happening with Pokemon Go, and it's like, hey, wait, TCG is still a thing, still iterating, still coming out with new stuff. Like, don't forget about us in the back, you know. But it'll be exciting to see, you know, what happens here, and I would imagine that we're probably 3 or 4 sets away from seeing like Galar Pokemon in the TCG, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the symbol's already there. The artwork for the set, you know, pack art or whatever is already there.
Oh, okay.
So like they're ready.
Nice.
They must have a base set all ready to go. Just kind of similar to like Sun and Moon, where the entire set is pretty much vanilla.
Yep.
With like a few standout cards, and then with those standout cards, you know, the more the sets come out, they get better.
Right, like the first set will be called Sword and Shield, maybe, and then the next set will be Sword and Shield, blabbity blabbity, you know, have some kind of suffix name at the end of it, you know, and continue that whole line. They did the same thing with X and Y, so yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this plays out, and, you know, for someone like you's that's back, you know, playing in League and all that stuff, it's going to be exciting to kind of see how this rolls out. You got me thinking now with like a physically bigger card. That would be really weird. That would be cool, though.
No, but I think they could do it. It doesn't have to necessarily be like one of the jumbo cards, because those are their own like thing. It could be a double card where it's just twice as big, so it fits in like a wider deck box. I don't know. And then you just keep it face down, and it's kind of like a GX counter, but
what if you have to like build something out with multiple cards like Yu-Gi-Oh style? That'd be interesting.
Oh my god. Yeah, where you have to, it's like sacrifice 3 basic Pokemon to summon this V card.
Yeah, it's like a summon where it's like, all right, this is the head, then you need the 2 arms, and then you need the body. I don't know.
Oh god.
But it's cool. It was an epic trailer. I like when they put those trailers together, because it's exciting, and you know, it looks all fancy and shiny, and you know, it gets the blood going. So I'm excited to see what happens. We'll have to follow
the V card has 330 hit points. Like, and like we think that that's a lot, and they made it so it looks like it's a lot. But I'm going to be honest. I was running Wailord GX, Wailord GX tag team with Magikarp, which has 300 hit points. So it's not necessarily that bulky, because I was able to get my guy knocked out in one shot twice by one of my matches.
But with 300 damage, though, right? Like with
300 damage, he had to physically do 300.
That's
damage.
what I mean. Like, this is still 330. Like, you know, it's going to be. I don't know if it's capable in a single turn for one Pokemon. You know, obviously, unless it's, you know, times damage for the amount of energies, and they just have a stupid amount of energy, but 300, I have to think is like the ceiling for damage. Like, I can't see it going much bigger than that, but I don't know. We'll have to see if they're going to revert back to a 2 prize, or if it's still going to be 3 prize. Like, it's I like the direction that they're going, where the plays in these games are just getting bigger and bigger, and it makes it more exciting to watch. So we'll have to see where that goes. We know nothing. We literally know nothing. So, but was the vibe or the atmosphere, at Worlds, were people buzzing about it? Like, were they talking about it?
Not really.
I guess because you don't know anything.
Nothing they noticed.
There's nothing to talk about. We don't know anything besides V.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like, oh, well, we're playing in this format, so nobody actually cares.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, this, the format's going to be carried out through the V-Card release, so V-Cards will be released in this
but
format.
we don't know anything about it, so why
right.
worry about it when our next tournament...
We just know it's a fancy V. It's a fancy V. Gary V. Maybe this is why Gary V put a tweet out the other day. He's like, I can't wait to learn about Pokemon cards. Maybe this is why. The Gary V. GXGV. Who knows? Maybe.
The Gary V.
Sword and Shield put out some new footage. I don't know if did you see this this latest trailer that kind of talks about all the new moves?
Yes.
What do you think of the Galarian forms? We haven't recorded in 2 weeks, so we haven't talked about the release of the Zigzagoon and the Weezing. What do you think?
I think the Zigzagoon. I think that is going to be what we get in Pokemon Go first.
Zigzagoon.
The Zigzagoon. Sorry,
yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to see the same thing, where like just how we had the Alolan Pokemon and eggs, we'll probably have the Galarian Pokemon and eggs as well, and things will start to trickle in. But what do you think of the Weezing? The Weezing is amazing.
I feel like he should be playing Monopoly.
You said that the other day, and now I can't unsee it, because he's like the gentleman with the top hat, and you know what I mean? Like Pokemon Go Radio, which is a fantastic Pokemon Go podcast, did a really funny skit where they were like, going back and forth with ridiculous banter as the two heads of the Weezing with British accents, and it was really, really funny. But it's like now I look at them and I can't not hear like real distinguished British voices like coming out of those mouths. Like, hello, well, it's neutralizing gas. But the bunch of new stuff was released. So they show Weezing. It has a new ability. It's actually a new ability, not just to Weezing, but in the game overall, called neutralizing gas. It neutralizes abilities. Now in the footage, it looks like it goes beyond just neutralizing abilities. It looks like when a Pokemon uses an ability, it actually damages itself. That's what it looked like from the video. So we'll have to see how that rolls out. There was new held items. One called Room Service, which lowers a Pokemon's speed. They call it when it's in a trick room. So they use Room Service, and it creates this like kind of almost like a light shield style cube around the battlefield. So, and I guess anyone that's in there, its speed goes lower. Then there's another held item called Eject Pack, which is when a Pokemon, it forces a Pokemon to switch out if its stats are lowered. So I guess if you use
That's so cool.
Yeah, like it's kind of interesting. It's like these are just new mechanics, like new things that VGC players are going to have to worry about and kind of weave into their strategies, because they're completely new and different, strategies that we haven't seen before in the game. New mechanics, really cool.
Yeah, the neutralizing gas is going to be a game changer, because imagine, you have a team of 6 and one of them is a Weezing. You have your ability set up with your 2 leads or whatever, and this thing comes out and you're like,
well, especially if your opponent doesn't have like something that can that if it relies on an ability or something like that, like this is going to be, it's going to be a game changer for sure.
Yeah, and it's like they have this in the TCG with like Alolan Muck. It stopped the abilities of all basic Pokemon in the hand, discard, etc. on the field,
which could pretty much like turn the tide of the match and prevent your opponent from like doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. Also, a new move was released.
To see that it's
Go ahead.
become into the VGC, like that level of disruption.
Well, it's like new players are coming to the game. They have to change things. They have to, do new stuff. They've got to make it exciting. They've got to do something to further iterate on what people are already used to. New platform, it's going to be on Switch. It's just going to be in front of so many different people that they really have to take a leap of faith and go for it with changing a bunch of mechanics, because you're going to have new people that you're going to have to figure out a way to grab them and hold them and keep them engaged. So new mechanics to worry about is just
new moves.
Yeah.
Do we have new moves?
So breaking swipe. So this is it's almost like a sweeping attack. So if you're doing a doubles battle, which they show a lot in this trailer, it hits both Pokemon and lowers the attack of all the targets it hits. So maybe if there's some other condition that would force it to, hit your own Pokemon or something like that, they would also lower their attack. But it just says lowers the attack of all targets, and they show, two people or two Pokemon on one side getting like swept, and then both of their attacks drop, which is really cool. Pokemon specific stuff. They show a trainer bring out Corviknight, and it has a hidden ability called Mirror Armor, which reflects any stat lowering effects. Again, they're getting so technical. Like they're really.
This is so cool. I love this ability.
It's neat. It's like these are the kind of things that are going to take, are really going to separate the trainers that are engaged with the core mechanics and the ones that are going to be looking into the specifics and details of each Pokemon, because I could just see this, someone not being prepared for this and then doing some kind of stat lowering move on Corviknight, and it bounces right back in their face. And I just think that this is going to fall under the radar, and, people are not going to be ready for this stuff, because it really forces you to be so knowledgeable about so many different things. Like it's getting very, very technical, which I don't mind at all. I just think that, it forces you to become a little bit more engaged with the details, which,
exactly,
you don't necessarily expect. What else did they show? Dynamax power. Dynamax Pokemon cannot be flinched. So if you have a move that would normally cause flinch, a Dynamax Pokemon will just shrug it off. They also, this was beautiful, but they show that Dynamax max moves also have secondary effects. And some of these animations were amazing. Like these huge, summons where like these crazy things would happen in the game, and crazy animations would swoop down and cover the entire battlefield. And they would show some kind of other effect where stats would get lowered or something. Damage would be given, and then after it was all said and done, an additional secondary effect would happen. And it's just delivered in this beautiful, beautiful animated package.
Yeah, and I forgot to say that I actually played the demo of this.
Oh, did you?
As well. And I did Dynamax a Grookey.
Yes.
And I was able to use Leafage, and leaves went everywhere. And it kept the field in like a grass state, if you will, like the leaves still spun around. And then I was facing the water trainer, I don't remember her name, but she was using the Dreadnought,
Nessa,
and then she Dynamaxed, and then he used his Sand Attack or whatever, and the whole field was both effects were going off at the same time.
Really?
So the whole field was sandy, and the whole field was like leafy, if you will.
Oh, cool! It's almost like running two stadium cards in TCG.
Yes,
that's pretty wild.
Almost exactly like that.
Nice. Oh, also another big thing that came out was no more Global Link. Sword and Shield will not use Global Link, and instead will utilize Nintendo Switch Online completely for the Battle Stadium stuff. And I don't want to go into too much detail here because it gets real technical and we could probably spend a ton of time on it, but they have an updated ranking system with how competitive ranking is going to happen in Sword and Shield. I'll link in the description. Check it out because they completely revamped the system, the ranking system, and they completely detail it on this website. So I'll link to it so you can check it out, but it looks exceptionally in-depth, and it requires Nintendo Switch Online, so you need to pay to play if you want to do online battles in the Battle Stadium in Sword and Shield. So just be aware of that. All right,
did we get an ultra bonus unlock in Pokemon Go?
Well, that's the big. This is the big deal, man. So jump over to Lured Up if you want to hear more details on this week. But the 3 Go Fests happen in the States, in Germany, and Japan. They had the global challenges. We demolished all the rewards for everything. We just completely obliterated all the challenges.
We bodied them. And because of that, we unlocked the Ultra bonus unlock. And pretty much how this is rolling out is going to be 3 weeks of bonuses. Adam, you want to run through kind of the dates and what we can expect during each of these windows? Things. Yes. So September 2nd through the 9th, Unknown will be hatching from 10k eggs.
Yeah, boy.
All the ones that spell Ultra. Raikou, Entei, Suicune will be in 5-star raids.
Yep.
And then Shiny Sentret and Gligar will be available now in the game as well.
New shinies are always good.
Always good. And then from September 9th to September 16th, Farfetch'd, Kangaskhan, Mr. Mime, and Tauros come back to 7k eggs. But they could be shiny.
This is amazing. This is awesome because these are going to be very, very exclusive. And
shiny regionals?
And
are you kidding me right now?
Even though that this is like the week 2 bonus, they stuck in there that these 7k regionals will be going through the 23rd. So this is actually like a 2-week window on this specific part of the Ultra unlock for week 2.
And then all Deoxys forms will be in tier 5 raids.
I missed the Deoxys raid today. I was working, couldn't go.
Yeah, and honestly, I definitely missed too. And in my local chat, like several people missed the one today. I'm like, oh god, so it's not just me.
No, I think I've missed 3 in speed form.
Yeah, Deoxys one is I have 2 of each except for speed form. I only have 1. So not to say I didn't do more. Not to say I didn't do more, but those are just the ones I kept.
Yeah, and it's going to be, if you missed any of them, this is the time to get caught up because you're going to be able to, I imagine it's going to be like a roulette kind of thing. You're not going to know what Deoxys is going to pop until it actually pops, which is fun, but that could kind of throw off coordination if someone's just looking for the speed form and then, you're all ready to go and you have a crew and then it pops as a defense form and they're like, I don't need that. I'm good. That it could get a little screwy with coordination. That's the only thing you got to be worried about. I think the defense form is... Well, yeah, bad example. PvP defense form is the best one for PvP. Yeah.
But you need tons of trainers to take it down, so...
Yeah, not like the attack form, which you could solo.
Okay, and then also raid bosses get shooken up again.
Yep.
And then from the 16th of September to the 23rd... Mewtwo with Psystrike in tier 5 raids.
And
so it's got the exclusive move Psystrike and also can be shiny.
This is pretty exciting. People have been waiting for shiny Mewtwo for a year. A solid year they've wanted this. Oh, and by the way,
instead we got armored Mewtwo.
Yeah, Psystrike is as it stands right now, it'll probably get buffed before release, but as it stands right now, Psystrike is worse than Psychic. So I'm not sure if that was intentional. I'm not sure they're going to change it. I'd imagine they are, but as of right now, there's really no benefit to getting Psystrike besides the fact that it has a cool name.
Yeah, I like the cool name. Whatever.
But I want that green Mewtwo.
I've got plenty of TMs to change it,
Yep.
And then another raid boss shakeup. And then that's to have Pokemon in the smaller raids to be able to take out Mewtwo.
Yep.
Same thing with Deoxys, but they both have pretty much the same weaknesses. So I imagine that it won't be too much of a shakeup. You'll probably see a little bit more dark and bug types. But also, Generation 5.
Hype train. This is,
and then not only that,
this is big.
They're giving us, right out the get-go, right out the gate, Clink, Patrat, and Lillipup, and more.
But Clink, Patrat, and Lillipup as shinies, potential shinies out of the gate.
Potential shinies.
So,
what?
They haven't really announced the full roster of what Pokemon are going to come out during this week, but in the text-based blog post that they put, they only mention Clink, Patrat, and Lillipup, and they say the shiny. But then they put out a teaser video about all the unlocks, and in the video they show the starters. So it's not going to, I don't know what's going to come on, during this week on the 16th, but I have a feeling it's going to be more than Clink, Patrat, and Lillipup. I'm sure the starters are going to come as well because they did feature them in the video.
Those are just the ones that are common and would be everywhere.
Right, yeah. Oh, and over this entire 3-week period, double incubator effectiveness the entire time. So
if you get a 2K, you throw it in a normal incubator, that's going to go 1K.
Yep. And then in a separate blog post, they did announce all the remaining dates for Community Day in 2019. 2 Saturdays in October and November, and then they're doing a double day in December. Check out the link in the description for those dates. But I'm sure the December one will be kind of the catch-up, where it'll be all the Community Day Pokemon with their respective moves from the year.
Yeah, because it's over the weekend.
Yep, maybe they'll split it up. Maybe the Saturday it'll be, the first 5 months of Pokemon, or, the Sunday will be the last 6 months of Pokemon. Who knows? But it is a 2-day event. But this is dude, Pokemon Go has been crazy, man. They've just the pace that they've been able to maintain is insane. They're keeping players engaged. We know that September is going to be completely engaged because of all this stuff that's going on. Then you have Gen 5. People are not going to put the game down. They're doing everything right. They're doing absolutely everything right, man. And they just
somehow people still complain, but they're doing everything right.
Dude, it doesn't matter. It could be it doesn't make any difference. People are always going to find something to complain about. Be salty about. Pokemon Center. All right, lots of good stuff here. We were making jokes last time we recorded about leggings and all that good stuff. Now we have a little bit more of a diverse lineup that we could talk about. Tons of Unified Minds TCG product, including a Blastoise GX Premium Collection, the latest Pikachu, A Day with Pikachu Funko, the sports fan one that's kind of holding the foam hand is released.
Man, there were so many of those at Worlds.
I saw the Wall O Funko at in all the YouTuber coverage. It was massive. Gardevoir Gallery figure. Adam, you've kind of picked up some of these, right?
Some of them, yeah. And GameStop stopped grabbing them, and then they stopped going on discount. So I just have what I have.
Dude, GameStop is in big trouble. I used to work for GameStop for 9 years, so I put a lot of time in that company as a multi-unit manager, and I think it was about a month ago they let 50 multi-unit managers go, so like area managers, district managers, things like that. And then I just saw today that they laid off an additional 100 people. And it was mainly like the Game Informer crew and Game Informer staff. So things are not looking good on that front at all for GameStop. But that's neither here nor there.
That would explain why my girlfriend's old district manager and his higher up, they both quit recently too, like almost like right after.
Is that quit with quotation marks, or quit meaning they got laid off?
I don't know.
They probably got laid off, dude.
I know that they were upset with her leaving, and then they both left.
I know.
After, so.
I still know some people within the company and people that still have their jobs, and they went from having like a 30-mile area of responsibility to 150-mile area of responsibility, and it's just never a good sign when you get spread that thin. But anyway, back to Pokemon Center. New pins, Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix double pin set. And one of my favorite looking pins that I've seen in a long time, I'm definitely going to get this. Special Delivery Pikachu riding on the back of a Charizard. Absolutely amazing.
What?
Absolutely amazing pin. So good.
Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, but Hidden Fates, the new TCG set with all the shiny Pokemon, comes out by the time you're hearing this, but it comes out on the 23rd, so it comes out tomorrow. When you're listening to this, it's already out. Go get it.
It doesn't stop, man. It doesn't stop.
No,
it's like
no.
I still have a sealed Unified Minds Elite Trainer box that I haven't even opened yet. It's like, geez, man.
Well, I'm like, I don't know if Josh knows this. He just went on vacation, so I'm like, great, he's gonna come back and see all these new shiny cards. Oh.
Yes, if you want to hear more TCG talk, check out Adam's other podcast, Special Conditions, that he does with Josh Brown. where they dig into all the goodness.
I'll go over the whole tournament, like in all my matchups and stuff.
Nice. All right. Time for our watch along. We're going to be watching Pokemon the series All Fired Up, episode 72. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our Amazon Prime queued up, and we'll get through this baby. All right, everyone. Give us a minute. We'll be right back.
Hold up, everyone. Are you ready for a sing-along? Slow poke in a reggae style. Pokemon. Come in.
And we're back from our break. Thanks so much for that. All right, like I said, Pokemon the series All Fired Up. Original air date, Japan, December 10th, 1998 as episode 74. Originally aired in the U.S. October 23rd, 99. We're currently watching this as episode 72. So we're a little bit behind the Japanese schedule because of the episode bannings and things like that. But we're watching it through Amazon Prime. We've got it queued up. We're going to start this thing up. Adam, you good to go?
Good to go.
All right, let's start it in 3, 2, 1, play. So, the other thing we didn't announce is Worlds 2020 is going to take place in London, which, I saw them make that announcement, and the crowd went, nuts. The crowd went absolutely nuts. But,
well, it's been a long time since it's been out of the U.S. A long time.
Oh, has it really?
Hawaii, Vancouver, Canada was the furthest it's been for a while, and it's gone to Florida, California, Boston, DC again.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Tennessee.
Well, it's all the people that travel from Asia and Australia. It's make their lives a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm sure they come to a place like DC and they're like, "Oh, jeez, this place is bad." So many balls.
Pokemon. So many balls.
There's just so many balls coming out of the screen right now.
Finally reached the Indigo Plateau, home of the renowned Pokemon League. Ash is approaching.
So we learned last episode that that's where they were heading, Indigo Plateau. And Ash is so charged up right now. So charged up he's scared
everybody.
Togepi.
Makes Togepi cry.
Is that a water Pokemon? It's an impressive amount
of
tears.
It was using Hydro eye drops.
Pokemon League, I feel like I'm gonna explode.
Explode at the opening ceremonies tomorrow.
Oh, there he goes again.
So cheesy.
This is how I was.
The excitement's real.
I can
going
picture
into the DC Open. I
your
was
5-year-old son looking at you why,
Pokemon.
Dad, why are you so excited?
Confident now, but wait till
I'm
he
like,
gets a look
because,
at the
buddy, I get to sit and play Pokemon.
Yes! Let's go!
And not eat for 5 or 6 hours straight.
All fired up!
I was all fired up with no fire Pokemon.
So, I guess the Indigo Plateau is clearly not too far from Pallet, right?
Right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks
So here we see Ash, I guess because it's in such proximity, he thinks that this crowd is there to see him.
Yeah, it was just people lined up along the sides of the roads. Waiting for a parade. Oh, look at this.
It's the torch.
It's the torch!
to light the flame that burns during the whole Pokemon League competition.
So it's just like a rip of the Olympic torch.
All the trainers
Yeah.
and Pokemon who compete in the Pokemon
It's a
League.
Hitmonchan and
One of the
his
torchbearers is
trainer.
a huge honor.
Just jogging.
There's a legend
It's like a
that
toilet
says
plunger.
The flame comes from way back in ancient times, from the flames of Moltres.
What's a Moltres? Moltres, a legendary Pokemon.
So,
Its virtues
When I saw this, I was like, so I guess you could pull up any Pokemon anytime. It doesn't have to see the Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Which doesn't make sense because he's always had to find out what.
That's
it
what
was.
I mean. When he sees it, he's got to pull out the Pokedex.
If that flame really is
Well, hey, I guess the
flame
flame
of
is from
Moltres,
Moltres,
then
so
it's
maybe
more
that
than just
counted.
a legend.
We'll go with that.
Moltres has to be real. And you wanna catch one? Yeah, I'll catch one and
Is he gonna
train it
burst
just
again?
I know, I was about to say, he's gonna blow!
Huh?
Pikachu jumps on Brock's
First,
shoulder.
I'm gonna carry that torch. Oh boy.
Ash literally just runs up.
Ooh, way to go!
He's in the middle of the street.
I'll take the torch from here.
It's like, who are you, bro?
Competitors are allowed to carry that flame.
Officer Jenny, don't you know me?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You might not know us, but we sure know you. Or the other
Poor
officers
Ash,
at
man.
least.
He's really trying to pull the fame card, and it ain't working out for him.
You mean Ash? He's harmless. He just gets a little carried away.
Only competitors
That's about
can carry
right.
the torch. But I am a competitor, and I wasn't
Ooh,
trying to
show off
Look at
those
these badges.
All I want to do is carry that torch. The rule is you have to be approved.
Well, I say we bend the rule and give the lad a chance.
President Goodshow?
Santa?
The Pokemon League competition is all about
Right?
spirit, and it's so
Is this
much
a troll?
youngster has spirit.
Is that Santa Claus?
What's that, Santa Claus? Oh.
May I present the Honorable Charles Goodshow?
I love how he has the hat backwards and everything. He looks hilarious.
My friends call me Charlie.
See,
You sure
this is
don't
like
look
one of
like a
those time
president.
continuum things. This is probably
sir?
Ash, but just
What difference does it make
in the
what he
future.
looks like?
That's pretty funny.
It's what one does, not what one looks like that's important.
He's awesome looking. He almost looks like the old dude from I Choose You.
And we could use a spirited young man like yourself to help deliver this noble flame to Indigo
it probably
Stadium.
is the same
What
guy.
do you say?
It'd be an honor.
What's the symbol on his hat?
Right?
So, who knows how long this guy's been running for, but he just got beat on his position.
Pretty lucky, aren't we?
Your clothes are orange. His clothes
Yeah,
just
exactly.
turned orange.
It's like, here, wear this.
For the whole spirit of the Pokemon League.
Fire chicken.
Pokemon too.
It's like orange Charlie Brown.
My question is, where did the other guy that was running?
It's all about Ash now. The other guy went home crying.
I hear it too.
Sounds bad.
Oop, here comes Meowth overhead.
So we haven't seen legendaries, right? In
No, we saw Dragonite.
Get us out.
what?
Ho-Oh at the beginning.
But yeah, but besides Ho-Oh though,
Make it
Yeah, no, we haven't seen.
we haven't
Zapdos
seen anything,
yet.
right?
to unite all people
No Mewtwo, no Mew.
I like how, you know, because Santa Claus thinks Ash has spirit, like Brock and Misty get like VIP treatment. They get to ride at the top of the RV.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
This is a pretty serious accident.
There's a giant hole in the ground.
When I first saw this, I thought like, is this like one of Team Rocket's like amazing like, you know, pitfall traps?
Man, Officer Jenny was just like laying there off her bike.
She's not the good Officer Jenny.
Help me out! Put me out!
Victory bell, go!
Kwah! Oh, I hate Fury Swipes on the face. Oh, dude, I feel that. Every time, like, Meowth does Fury
Yes.
Swipes and it leaves the red marks, I feel it.
I'm gonna regret this.
And it doesn't stop. It's still like going, still today. Like it's in the Sun and Moon series.
Yep.
Okay, Squirtle, use your water gun.
Pikachu has the torch. It's, like, as big as Pikachu.
That was very refreshing.
Never really understood this. It's like, a fire, let me pull out Victory Bell to help deal with the fire. It's like you would have been better off bringing out Magikarp.
No, you're not.
It's double weak.
I'm sure the
Yeah,
famous
where's your
flame
Magikarp,
from the
James?
mysterious Moltres will bring a very pretty prize.
We can make a fortune from the
That was a really cool, like, throw animation. I think that was the first time we saw that throw animation from Ash.
Make us play rough, kid.
Pikachu, give it to me!
So, of course, Ash being the good sport helps out Team Rocket, puts him out.
I got it.
Children shouldn't play with fire.
Dude, Jessie is the best.
Flame stands for everything that's good about the Pokemon League, and I'm not.
We're taking that flame-o, lame-o.
I'll steal it.
Nice pun. Where'd you get it?
Help!
You're taking this torch stuff way too seriously.
I love the way Pikachu looked there.
Lighten up.
Take it. Take it.
You tried,
Yeah,
kid.
Pikachu gave it to you all right. A nice
But
thunder
You
shock.
can't hold a candle to me.
Come back!
Fire away!
Awkward.
Fire away. That's a good one.
Burn her hair.
Pikachu.
Squirtle jumps on her
gives him
face
a
and
fish
just
hook.
pulls her. Oh my god!
Worry, Ash.
The double fish hook.
Can't be far. We'll track them down.
Ash, you demonstrated.
And then
great
Meowth's just
bravery,
tickling
and
him.
I'm very
Yeah, like,
proud of you.
really?
That will live on. Let me show you.
Who let down that thing?
Right?
It's like, I hate when Team Rocket succeeds at anything.
From Moltres tucked away so I can relight the torch if it goes out. The Pokemon League is very close to my heart, so I keep.
Yo, Santa Claus is a major optimist. He's so cool about it.
Look, the flame's
He's
going
like,
out.
let me just
Somebody
open up
do
my
something
beard.
Quick.
Meowth. You better fix this.
You must have broke it. See?
So,
All you gotta do is turn it
this
up
is
a
the
little
first
bit.
time of many times I thought of this in this episode. Yeah, first of all, he's got a burning lantern like on the inside of his jacket, but it's obviously the beef is going down. Things are happening. They're under attack. They're on the way to the Pokemon League. Is there no other Pokemon trainers around to get involved to help? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the guy that was running before?
Where's Gary? The guy running, he only had a Machamp. Or a Hitmonchan.
A Hitmonchan, but still.
Wow, looks good as new.
Team Rocket just torched himself again because of Meowth.
Ready.
Good. Then it's on to the Pokemon League.
And they lost their flame.
Yeah, they're beat. It's Pikachu!
It's Ditto!
Blah. That was actually a hard one.
Well, see, it still looks like a Ditto. It does look good as new.
So I wonder what the
Oh, it's a T.
The T on the back of the hat.
Yeah. For trainer.
Trainer. I like this, the extended version of the intro song.
There it is. The stadium sure looks great, Mr. President.
Yes,
Ash is so
it's empty
happy
now, but tomorrow
running with
will
that
be filled
flame.
to capacity.
Misty,
For
it's
the
your turn.
opening ceremonies of
Even
the
though,
Pokemon
like, yeah,
League,
it's like Santa Claus is really being giving because, like, remember, Nurse or Officer Jenny was like, "No, you have to be a competitor." And then after, not only do you have to be a competitor, but you have to be chosen.
Thank you. I trust
And then here we got
then
Brock
in his
in like
basketball
his
shorts.
gym clothes. Like, where did they come from?
Jolly good show.
Wow, the Pokemon Village.
This is great. It's where all the Pokemon trainers stay during the competition.
It's like,
They made
where's
Brock
they have no parade anymore. They're literally just they're driving themselves.
Gary, he's the best. He'll defeat you like the rest.
Ash, I hope tomorrow's your lucky day, because luck's what you're gonna need.
You think Santa Claus could have got a little bit more dressed for the occasion instead of just wearing some shorts?
I'm a great Pokemon trainer.
Unless you've studied with other trainers, your chances aren't so great.
This is exciting though. I mean, we're 72 episodes in, and we're finally seeing like
To win the Pokemon League.
league
This is the
action.
Pokemon
Come on,
Trainer
girls. If
League
I stay here much longer, I might
place.
catch loseritis and miss the
Because
competition.
we've seen him actually do some focus league battles, but
Till he wins.
now he's finally here, and of course Gary's here as well.
Yeah, but I thought the girls were on Ash's side.
What? Why? No, they love
They
Gary.
left when they faced Team Rocket or Giovanni.
Oh yeah, last time they ended up
gave
cheering for
on
Ash.
Gary.
Gary won back their favor.
If I stay here much longer, I might catch loseritis and miss the competition. See ya.
Loseritis. Ugh. I've had that once.
That's mean, Gary.
It's not good.
Competition.
Ash is determined, yo. Ash can't sleep.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I think he's scared.
So the downward spiral
flashbacks.
of his own thoughts, he's psyching himself out. Oh yeah, he's struggling. Poor Ash, dude. He's just a boy.
He's just a kid.
Yo, Ash is on a mission. Full moon. I love how Togepi looks when it's sleeping in its egg.
Missy's like, where's he going?
Missy's like, no one's listening, but I still got to use this opportunity to burn Ash. Scaredy cat.
As long as I do the very best I can.
Santa Claus is just on a vigilant watch of the playfield.
Just making sure nobody intrudes.
Making sure nobody, does anything. Because it's in the middle of the night. He's just on patrol. He's on Santa patrol.
He's gonna find out if Ash is not very nice.
Their strength and their spirit. These hopeful competitors will battle one another as
He doesn't have a belly button though.
He's focused, dude. Look at the focus in his eyes. He's got spirit.
Pokemon knows. He's got spirit.
That's right, Ash. Tell him. Tell him, Steve Dave. The size of that moon.
Wow, this is exciting.
I can't wait to see Ash.
There, he just
I like how they release
And there's
Pidgeys instead of
Pikachu.
doves.
They look kind of nervous.
Gary sure doesn't.
You know, it's cool because, like, this stadium setting, like, it almost looks like Sword and Shield, like, you know, a stadium that could handle, like, Dynamaxing.
Throughout the Pokemon League competition.
The central torch? Where is that?
At the top of those steps.
All they need is jerseys and they'd be good.
Well, I like this part where they show all the trainers coming out because it's a super diverse mix. Adults, kids, you know, like casual clothes, business clothes, you know. But it's just like this whole random big group, which is really cool.
Ha! Too late.
Gary.
Ta-da! It's Team Rocket. Do the
Yeah,
Pokemon
buddy.
ruin everything? Pika pika.
Maybe not everything, but we try to do what we can.
Cool it, kid. There's no reason to get all fired up over an old flame.
So, haven't you ever seen the Olympics?
Wheezing Smog Attack.
So, yeah, it's like two rogue figures representing the league. Like, what?
Wait till you see what else
Oh my god, wait! Here comes Ash.
Swipe.
Get the flame. Da 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 da.
Cue the motto.
Why settle for a flimsy little flame? Right, Jesse?
Right. Let's live large.
Yeah, and let's put
I
the
like your
heat on that
puns,
kid.
Jesse.
He'll feel the heat all right when we pour on
So-
the fire.
Galarian Wizard.
It's not Galarian.
The central torch has just been stolen by some
But I
kind of
wish it
giant
was.
mechanical monster.
It would be using neutralizing gas.
And you see, now with the whole Galarian wheezing thing, that probably means that there's not going to be a Galarian coughing, which is a little bummer.
Pokemon as we can.
There's no backseat driving.
Because if they
around
made just like the
here,
one coughing with like a ridiculous top hat, that would have been hilarious. It's like, what is this thing they're in?
And how did they get in it so quickly?
Pikachu.
I've got questions.
We've got answers. They take the whole bowl of the flame.
Well, it's like this mechanical grasshopper thing.
Our shockproofing gave that rancid little
You have, don't you have another one in your beard, bro?
Bulbasaur. I choose
Well, I think they don't have the big giant,
you. Bulbasaur.
fire pit for it.
Yep.
No.
That
Jump
Bulbasaur's
right on the
leaves
trainers.
made our bonfire bigger.
Basically, could have done something.
Dude, James' laugh is so good right there. Pikachu looks so happy.
Hurry! Run for it!
I'm not running away. Not from here. I
It's
came
no
here to
use,
defeat
You need
Ash.
Plan B, Ash.
and
What's
now
it gonna
you're
be?
trying to wreck this competition
Yeah,
and
71
everyone
episodes of you
knows
using
this.
lightning attacks on their
I'm not
machines.
gonna
Yeah.
let
They
you
don't
win.
work.
Not if I can help it. Take your best shot, Team Rocket. Ash, look out!
So
Nope.
it's like, why? I mean, obviously, I guess because he doesn't want to put the fire out,
You're okay.
he wouldn't use Squirtle, because obviously he knows it's important to keep the the flame on. But yo, I got so charged up when I saw this part.
Moltres is back! In a beautiful blaze of glory.
It's like the most motivating and triumphant speech ever, Ash. Tell him.
He became the very best. There ever was.
Everyone in the crowd is just ready to watch Ash die.
Yeah. And the flames are just being shot at Ash.
Rocket's blasting off again!
Yeah, well, he's not, bruh.
Yeah, and they basically just admitted to, like, yeah,
We were trying to kill him. So, I love this part. I love how they animated Moltres. I love how they made it, like, even if it's just kind of like flying, with the shape of it is static, they animate the fire kind of in the body silhouette so it looks like it's moving fast. It's very well done. Kaboom.
They definitely blasted off. Ugh. The dish just crashes back.
It's alright,
Moltres
look.
flies back into it.
It's
and
relit.
boom. The games are on.
The beacons are lit.
Finally made it to the Pokemon League, Pikachu.
Yeah, nothing to see here. We'll just continue the show, even though opening ceremonies were like 1 minute ago.
But
It's all
he's gotta
good.
be in it to win it.
Don't go away. Pikachu's jukebox is next.
So it is. I do like the storyline of it being part of Moltres. Like that is cool. And thank goodness, because that's the only reason we were able to save the day. Ash didn't get burned to a crisp.
Yep. He's talking to himself. Thank you, Moltres.
You did it, Ash.
You made it with so little training, so little effort. He's in it to win it.
So I think this was like the perfect setup for this episode. Like for the next run of episodes with the league. Like they did a really good job, I think. Because it's like the stage is set. Team Rocket was, tried to get in. They're out of their way now, and it's real. Like this is happening. They're in the Indigo Plateau. There's nowhere for Ash to go, and this is really happening. I'm excited to see how this pans out, but I think they did a really good job setting up the arc of the Pokemon League. They did a good job.
Yeah, it was definitely a fantastic ride.
Nice. Good episode, guys. Good episode. Let us know what you think. Email us, info@gottawatchemall.com. Let us know if you liked the episode. Let us know if you actually have seen this before or if it's your first time, because I'd imagine as a first-timer, this has got to be pretty exciting to figure out, like, is Ash finally going to be able to succeed? So it's going to be cool. But hey, speaking of succeeding, I have a small victory here that I know that I'm capable of. And that's the crinkle crackle of a booster that
I got one of those too.
that'll give me a guaranteed rare. All right, I've got Dragon Majesty. I've got a
break point.
All right, let's see what we got here. I am so due. You've pulled some good stuff. I have not. Let's see what we got. Drampa, Dragonair, Quagsire, Dratini, Horsey, Yangmo-O, Magikarp, Corsola. My reverse is Kangaskhan. And my rare is a hollow Gyarados with some crazy looking art, which is really cool. I dig it.
Gyarados.
All right, what do you got?
Hang on. Okay, I have a Rattata, a Skorupi, a Pancham, a Kricketot, a Petalil, a Great Ball, a Scissor Spirit Link, a Doublade. My reverse hollow is a Kricketot, and my rare is just a plain rare Meowstic.
Another
lame.
another lame week. All right. Well, at least I got the hologram. I'll take it. At least I got the holo. But Adam, we did it. That's a show.
We did it.
We did it. Thank you guys so much for checking out the show this week. Like I said earlier, you can email us, info@gottawatchemall.com. You can actually leave us a voicemail, 732-835-8639. Check out gottawatchemall.com for everything about the show. Check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything about the network. Other than that, Adam, you got anything?
No, just go buy some packs of cards, play Pokemon in any capacity, and have fun.
Play Pokemon trainers. We'll see you later.